Hello, strangers. Coming to you once again. Been a little bit late lately. Had a lot of things to do. So, I want to talk to you about a few things. As you can see in the title, this is called I Remember. And this is going to be the first video in a series of I Remembers. I've got a blog on WordPress where I've got a few of these already done, and I'll probably just kind of make videos based on those in future sessions. The link to that, however, is below in the description, so if you want to go and read some of those ahead of time, please do. So, also in the title is not only I Remember, but the subtitle, as you were, is Teddy Ruxpin. Now, why would I want to say something about Teddy Ruxpin? What prompts this? Well, first thing, in my goings through YouTube, I have stumbled across a few things, one of which is the Fine Brothers React channels. You know, kids react, teens react, and so on. And this last week they did a kids react in which they took away the videos and placed a Teddy Ruxpin doll in front of the kids, who are anywhere from 5 to 13 or so, and showed them how the Teddy Ruxpin worked. Of course, this was, you know, a toy back in the 80s, and I'm going to get into a little bit of that. And the kids didn't react too well to this thing. It was boring to them. They played a little song, and the song went too long for the kids. It's kind of funny. Kind of interesting to see. I'll put probably a link down in the description below to that video, so you know, after you can go watch that after you've seen mine. But yeah, so it's kind of interesting. And what it did when I saw that is it triggered a memory, so hence the I Remember there. And it has to do with my dad. Shortly after we moved from our home in Oklahoma, after my dad retired from the military, we moved back to my home state of California. And started kind of trying to reestablish our life here. And the first real job my dad got after moving out here was for a company named Alchemy II. Well, what does that have to do with it? Well, Alchemy II was the company that actually created Teddy Ruxpin. They then went to a company called Worlds of Wonder to distribute it. So the first company to distribute Teddy Ruxpin dolls, the teddy bears, was Worlds of Wonder. They did a whole bunch of other things as well. The other most famous toy that Worlds of Wonder put out, I believe, was laser tag, which was guns that used infrared lasers to shoot at targets, which, you know, you can go out and there's all sorts of places and stuff in just about any city you can go to and do the same thing. Well, one of the first uses of that was these little guns that Worlds of Wonder put out. So they put out laser tag, they put out Teddy Ruxpin and all the things, but Alchemy II was the creator of Teddy Ruxpin. And my dad got hired into the company about a year after the Teddy Ruxpin craze hit. So they were in this big, huge building out in the San Fernando Valley, and, you know, really going to town and doing things. And my dad was a draftsman, so he would go in there and he designed all the little tools and gears and all the innards for all the new things that they were going to put out. And the next thing they were going to do, that they were going to pitch to Worlds of Wonder, was Disney characters that did very much the same thing as Teddy Ruxpin. So you had, and I think it was Disney babies, really. So you had a baby Mickey Mouse and a baby Goofy and a baby Minnie Mouse and all those things that would, you know, you put some sort of tape or some other, you know, audio player in the thing and, you know, wire them all up, and they'd sing and read stories and things just like Teddy Ruxpin did. And that was all getting going. My dad was doing all the designs. He'd bring home all the artwork and stuff. for that, and Worlds of Wonder was going to put that out. The other thing that they did was the movie Short Circuit 2 came out, and there is the opening scene is you have, if you're familiar with the movie, you have Ben from the first one, who's the sidekick. He's in New York, and he's making miniature versions of the Johnny Five robot. And so for the movie, they needed a whole bunch of little Johnny Five robots that would be kind of remote controlled and go everywhere. Well, the movie company went to Alchemy II, and they produced those miniature robots. And I've actually got a picture of my dad and one of the mechanics in there that actually built the thing. My dad would draw it up, and this guy and his other co-workers would actually put the things together. His name was Gil. I've got a picture of my dad and Gil standing with all those little robots, and I'll go see if I can find it and throw it into this video here as a little insert. So probably right about now. So there's my dad, Mel, on the right, with his friend and other engineer, Gil. Between them is Johnny Five, and just behind them on the shelf there is all the little robots that they made for Short Circuit 2, which will be in this next clip here. So there's Johnny Five and all the little tiny remote-controlled robots that they made. So yeah, there he was, and so they built those things. My dad also started doing up drawings for designs of it's kind of a sprinkler system, he called it waterworks. So there was all sorts of you plug your hose into this thing and it just sprays water all over the place, and so you can run around and for kids, and then had things would go up and kind of throw a ball around, and other things would kind of wave around hoses, and there's little slide things or water cannons, all sorts of things that he was kind of just popping out of his head and making drawings of. And I've got those drawings somewhere. But and he was going to pitch that to Alchemy, and Alchemy was then going to go to Worlds of Wonder for that. But they were kind of getting and Dad was working maybe about a year at Alchemy doing that, and Worlds of Wonder was, really riding the wave of Teddy Ruxpin and was starting to gear up for the next big thing. And the next big thing was that Disney thing. But, I don't know, something happened. The execs kept throwing different things at them, different specs. Here, do it this way, here, do it that way. No, we want this, no, we want that. So they have to go back and redesign everything. And they had already started touting to other department stores, Sears and Kmart and all the big ones in the 80s, and probably Walmart and such as well, out in the Midwest, and all the big department stores that would carry Teddy Ruxpin, Toys R Us and stuff like that, started basically saying, here's this next big thing we're going to do, and where are you interested? And all those businesses started making orders. Yeah, we'll take X amount of crates of those things, and it never happened because they just kept on changing everything. I don't know what, this is 1987, 88, probably around that time. And I was in my mid-teens, 14, something like that. So, I heard a few things, but not really, not really a whole lot of anything there. 14, 15, yeah. So I wasn't too privy to the actual goings-on within that. Basically, Worlds of Wonder, Alchemy didn't get the stuff to Worlds of Wonder because of all the changes. Worlds of Wonder, therefore, didn't get the toys out to all the various places that, had ordered it. And the places that ordered it said, where's our stuff? And apparently this was problematic across Worlds of Wonder's board because, God knows how many other companies they were dealing with in toys and stuff, that they also weren't getting out to those various stores, and the stores came calling. Worlds of Wonder declared bankruptcy and folded, and pretty much took Alchemy II, at least, with it. Alchemy II had pretty much started in its garage. You know, the guy started in a garage making Teddy Ruxpin, among other things. And when it exploded, then he could get this huge building. Well, when Worlds of Wonder folded, they went back into the garage. I think he was able to, you know, obviously he was able to later, you know, work deals with 2 other companies. Hasbro might have been one of them, to get Teddy Ruxpin distributed again. But by that point, damage had been done. My dad was one of the first ones laid off, mainly because he didn't have a degree. He had lots of experience in drafting and designing and mechanical and electrical engineering and all this sort of stuff that he got through the military, but he didn't have any degrees, college degrees or anything like that to back it up, so he was one of the first ones gone. So that kind of sucked. But yeah, so it just kind of, you know, seeing that Teddy Ruxpin doll and seeing the kids react to it just really, you know, kind of brought that memory out, so I thought I'd share it with all of you. So, yeah, I think that's about it for today. And I'll see if I can get a little bit more diligent about making more. I've got a bunch of other ideas. There's another React thing that the Fine Brothers did that I'm going to... I saw it, but I'm going to re-see it. The video that they had other people reacting to, and kind of react to it on my own. So that'll probably be in the next week or so. But until then, so, and you know, if I've already done it, you can kind of look for it somewhere off to the side. Anyway, so that will do, and look, you know, again, check out the description, website, you know, Twitter, Facebook, you know, all of my novels down below. I'm going to see if I can start putting up some more in the near future as well. Until then, see you next time. Thanks for watching the video, guys. If you like what you saw, please click the like button, and don't forget to subscribe below.